We're ready to go. I'm gonna twist the mustache up and get ready to go. But before we start, as always in my streams, I like to give a shout out to our newest of followers. Since our last stream, I do want to give a shout out to Kyle Witt 0527. Thank you for the tier 1 subscription. Much appreciated. And also Dukage, thank you for that follow, my friend. Welcome to the Twitch channel. Much appreciated. And Amber Lion. Welcome, Carson. Glad to have you on board. Hopefully all is well. And I also want to give a shout out to my good buddy Nasty Nerg, fellow AoE streamer, who just joined us here on our Twitch channel. So fantastic. So welcome, my name is Gutsy, and this is a new series for me. I am a noob at this, so we're going to start a series called Technic Tuesday, and we're going to build. I have several sets of Lego Technic sets that I want to build. The first one that we're going to build is this one right here. It's the Lego Technic ZR1 Corvette. Now, it's orange, it's a Corvette, and that holds a special place in my heart, and you'll find out why if you follow me on other social media platforms. So if you're interested in why I like the Corvette ZR1, especially the orange one, make sure you check out some of my other social media platforms in the next few days, and I'll explain to you exactly why that's something that's near and dear to my heart. But before we get started on this opening, when I'm starting with my Lego Technic set, like I said, I'm a noob at this, but there are some tips that I have received from some folks to help me along my way, and I hope these work. We may find out that, being that this is my first time doing this, that we mess up a few things, but that's all part of the process. But moving this out of the way, I did pick these up. These are actually containers, and one of the recommendations I received was get these types of containers where you can put your parts in and keep everything separated. So I actually have 2 of these. Now, the Corvette ZR1 build, that is going to be probably easily handled in 1 or 2 of these. Now, there are some other Technic builds that I have, like the off-road crane that has a crap ton of pieces that may take more of these than I have, so we may have to go back and purchase some more, but luckily I can pick these up on Amazon. They're just Sterilite containers with removable little cases. So with these, what's going on, Kyle? How's it going, my friend? Hopefully you're well. Glad you could stop by. Gave you a shout out for that tier 1 subscription earlier. I appreciate that, my friend. Much appreciated. Hopefully all is well with you. But like I said, I got these containers. We're going to use them. That's one of the tips I've gotten about using the Lego Technic sets. Originally, I thought there was going to be some type of a guide that would take you through exactly what to do. One of the sets I opened up did not have that guide, so we're going at this fresh and new. I did a little bit of research to try to figure out exactly what to do, but there is no really straightforward guidelines. I even checked out the Lego website to see what they had about Technic. Nothing really straightforward, so we're just going to dive into it. Like I said, first build we're doing is going to be the Lego Technic Corvette ZR1. Like I said, if you want to know why it holds a dear place in my heart, check out my other social media platforms. You'll find out why. I'll be having some other videos. It's springtime coming this way. All right. Well, this guy came to say hi too, so I will introduce you guys, especially if you're new to Twitch. This is Streamcat. Streamcat always shows up at the beginning of the streams and always shows up at the end of streams to let me know that it's time to go. Now, this is interesting. This is probably not something that you this is probably not something that you would expect on a Lego Technic stream, but we could do cat examinations. Not bad. All right, but yes, that's Streamcat. So Streamcat's job is to let me know when to start and let me know when it's over. So let's get started. Technic set Part 1, Corvette ZR1 build. So we're going to open the box, and it's got a couple pieces of tape. You know what? Normally I have scissors or something here, but I don't. So that is going to, but that's good to hear. Excited to see how the build goes. I'm hoping this one goes well. Like I said, this is something new to me. I've read a few tips here and there, so we're actually going to see if it works. But I'm going to grab a knife real quick. I always keep a spare. I call this my package knife. It's just a regular kitchen knife that I get to open all my Amazon packages, vice versa. So we've opened up our box, and there's a lot of little parts here. So, like I said, these come in multiple bags, and at first I thought with the multiple bags, oh, this I don't like. The book kind of got crinkled up. I thought the bags would actually be labeled and have some stuff on them. Because this one doesn't actually have very many bags. So I'm hoping for my first build that this is going to be relatively straightforward. And I don't get stumped right away. But yeah, Corvette ZR1 build. This is what they call a 2-in-1 set too. So you can actually build a hot rod out of this as well. But not a big fan of the hot rod. I am, however, a big fan of the Corvette series, especially the C7s. Not a big fan of the C8s, which are the newest ones. They have more of a European styling. I prefer the front engine Corvettes, just because tradition. That's why. And like I said, check out my social media post here in the next few weeks. You guys will see exactly why that is. But yep, Corvette ZR1 build. So, packaging wise, everything's packaged up. Here's some stickers. These will go on later. When I get to the end of the build, we'll add the stickers, and I will show you exactly how I put those on. Some of the tips that I received for that is don't use your hands, but use tweezers. So we'll get a set of tweezers to put that on, because sometimes the grease from your fingers or the oils from your skin cause the stickers not to stick appropriately, and over the course of time, they don't last very long. So we're going to place that over here. We've got that. This is the book that comes with it. We'll take a look at this real quick. I do have the Lego app, so the app will help us to move along. All right, so these are 1-to-1 versions. All right, so it's very simple, straightforward, like step 1, step 2, step 3. So looks like we're going to be utilizing some smaller parts here. We're actually getting the gearbox together first. So that's going to be the first thing. All right, the nice part is they add these 1-to-1 pictures in here too. I don't know if you can see that. So if you have a question of whether you're using the right part or not, this is actually a 1-to-1 version of the part. So you can just lay it on there and check it out to see if it actually fits. But I'm just going to read through this real quick, or look through it, kind of get an idea of where we're headed. And the nice thing is these are all color-coded pieces too. But yeah, when you first look at this, it's kind of overwhelming with the amount of like just parts and everything. When I first opened the Ducati book, I was not sure what exactly to expect out of a Lego Technic set. Because back in the day when I was a kid, I used to build Legos all the time. Never had anything this technical. Although I did have an erector set. And I did say erector set there. And I used to love building with my erector sets. But those are a little bit different. But this is kind of on the same platform, I guess. Just you're not using screws, nuts, and bolts to keep this stuff together. It's pretty much Lego, pop, snap, and go. All right, so this particular build has a total of 206 pages total. So my guess is for tonight's stream, we'll go quite a distance. We'll see how far we get. Maximum stream duration is going to be about 3 hours. Minimum will be 2 hours, unless I absolutely get to a point where I'm like, wow, my back is killing me from sitting in this chair. Because I'm actually sitting in a kitchen chair. I'm not downstairs in my office in a gaming chair. All right, so we're gonna boom, boom, boom. It says go to the app. I'm just gonna check the app real quick. Pop it up here. And I already have this build saved on my app as well. Actually, it should. Yeah, there we go. Start building. All right, and so basically, this app is giving me pretty much what's in the book. All right, so it gives you all the parts. You can check through. So it's also got them labeled color-wise. I think there was a parts checklist in the very back as well, which is the same thing that's in the very back of the book. 2 pages. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to separate out parts first. So we're going to open and separate out, and then we're going to get working on that looks like drivetrain for this particular vehicle. So I'm just going to dump these out. Now I'm just realizing right now that these pieces are black. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually lay a piece of paper out here. Put those in there. Now we're going to use one of these containers, and we're just going to kind of separate out pieces. Make sure they fit. Hydro, what's going on, my friend? How are you? Hopefully all is well with you. Thank you for joining me tonight. I appreciate it. And these are actually flats and separates. So originally when I first started this idea about doing this, my thought process was, oh, the bags, like this bag right here that I just opened, that would represent a piece or a part that you would build. And that is not the case with Lego Technic. But by dividing these out and putting them in their own little container, I think this will help keep everything organized. Plus, this is my kitchen table. So if we need to use the kitchen table for anything. Dill Bob, what's going on? How are you, Dill Bob? Good to see you, my friend. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully you're having a fine evening. We are dividing these puppies out. And you know what? We're going to do this. These are all the same parts, I think. So we're going to take this puppy and we're going to slide it right in there. All right, next bag. So we're going to de-laminate or depackage all these, or open up each one, separate them into their different parts, places, and this is going to help me with the build eventually. Let's see. You know what? We're going to actually keep similar parts in similar boxes. Well, I appreciate that, Dill Bob. I appreciate that. Thanks for joining me. This is my first Lego Technic build stream. If you're just joining me for the first time too, like I said, we will be streaming on Thursday night over on Facebook. If you haven't joined our community over there, we have a pretty solid community going over there. We just broke 1,500. We're heading to 2,000. And if you have been with me before, you know that we'll be playing on the Apocalypse of Enoch server, which is a faction warfare slash roleplay server. And some of you that have been with me for a while know exactly what I'm talking about. That's actually one really fun server to play on. They just got the faction warfare server back up and running. So I am running as a Federation soldier. And I will also be running a Freeman character. I haven't decided yet what Freeman character I want to be running. But we do play that on DayZ. So DayZ is a video game that's a survival video game. If you're not familiar with it. But I've had characters in the past like Mandarin, which was a really popular character. So I may bring Mandarin back. I'm just not sure if that's the case, or do I want to build up a new character? I have been asked to join the Marauders and have a little bit of fun with the Marauders. I do have a good Marauder character that I could run. The Marauders character's name is Fart Blossom. So if you're familiar with DayZ and you know who the Marauders are, you kind of know what Marauders are. Do I play Minecraft? Dylan, I do have Minecraft, but I don't play it like a lot. It's not like a main game that I play. Right, so we got several different little chunky parts here. And I think I'm learning already that I'm going to have to be a little more concise with the way I put these parts in here too. And I'm already discovering that I don't have enough box space. All right. So this is a learning experience for me. So I'm going to have to start combining parts. We might have to go colors too. There's a few axles in here, and there's a few of these other pieces as well that are not axles. And that's going to cause an issue. But I want to try to make sure they're all the same so that when I need a part, I know where it's at. But I'm also trusting Lego that when they put this Technic box together, that they actually put all the parts in there that we need. What's that? Is that yo, what's going on? Who's that? Is DWEWJ. Would you phonetically pronounce your name for me? But thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it. What's going on? Oh, it's Drew. Okay. All right, Drew, what's going on? I didn't read the second comment. Hopefully you're well, Drew. All right. This whole stream might be just organizing parts. Could very well be just organizing all the parts out. But like I said too, if you guys want to join me on Thursday on Facebook Gaming, we will be running our Apocalypse of Enoch stream. There's a lot of these like one-off parts too. So I'm going to kind of combine some of those into the same box. We're going to put all the same, we're going to put gears all in a box as well. Just don't know what box yet. These I know are the mirrors for the Corvette. Gearbox. Let's see. Only 3 of these, I think. There might be more. All right, so we're going to stick gears in here. And then we've got several of these little yellow things. We're going to stick those in here as well. Yeah, I noticed you guys dropped in. Fantastic. Right now, like I said, we're separating out parts. Hey, let me know how the audio levels are as well. This is a kind of a new setup for me. I'm kind of set it up out of my kitchen. I normally don't stream out of my kitchen, but for the purpose of the Lego Technic builds, I figured it would be the best place because there's not really a lot of room down in my office to run a lot of that stuff. So we're going to do it from here. All right, so these special pieces I'm going to kind of stick off on their own as well. But the nice thing is, I think the way the parts are laid out, we should be good to go. But I'm definitely going to need to learn how to see, these are all, so these are actually taillights. I'm going to have to learn how to separate these out a little bit better. because I haven't even gotten to the bigger parts. Got some rails. Let's see. We'll stick rails in there. And then we'll go from there. All right, appreciate that. Thank you, Hydro. I'll just call you Hydro if that's okay, Drew. All right, see, this is a one-off piece right there that's different than the others. We're just gonna stick it in there. All right, more gears. So, Drew, we are actually making a Lego Technic Corvette ZR1. So I was telling everybody earlier that this is a project. This is the one I decided to start with because this particular project is kind of near and dear to my heart. So hopefully the goal is to try to get this completed within 3 to 4 streams if we can. But it's an orange Corvette. It's a ZR1, but those who know me and follow me on social media know that I do have a soft spot in my heart for Corvettes. So if you follow me on social media, I'm going to be putting up a couple posts once the weather gets a little bit warmer. And I'll show you exactly why, and specifically why I like orange. All right, so we got some more axles. So I don't have an axle box. Actually, do have an axle box. Put those in the axle box right there. We got these brown axles too. Some of these are post axles. And then we've got extra bits here. Here's the other thing I'm thinking right now. Like, I've got a cat and he loves to play with stuff. And I'm kind of thinking right now that if I leave this stuff out on the kitchen table, he may jump up here and start swatting it around, knocking stuff off the table all over the place. So that is definitely something that's on my mind right now. Not sure I'm liking that. And if you have a cat, you know what I'm talking about. Nice. Thank you, sir, for redeeming the hydrate. Where's that camera at? Rock on. That's good. Thank you for reminding me, though. My throat was getting a little bit dry. All right, we're going to throw those in with axles. All right, last 2 bags. We'll get these separated and we'll start. But yeah, when we're dealing with like plastic, crinkly things, my cat absolutely adores anything that crackles or crinkles. He'll chew on it until it's gone. I don't know if that's healthy for him or not, but that's just what he does. So I've got to like hide plastic stuff from him so he doesn't chew on it. I'm always afraid he'll end up swallowing it and getting sick. I see what they're doing with some of these special parts. So it's actually built specifically for the actual build itself. And the other thing I thought was interesting is this is actually licensed by GM. I guess that's kind of something they had to do so that they get the rights to let people build a Corvette. All right, so we are running out of space here. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to stock these here. I'm trying to spread out the pieces as we go so that I can reference them in the box. That's what I would love to do. This was one of the tips I received about doing this. All right, since these are small, we're going to put them in there as well. These are a little bit bigger. Those are axles. These are axle spinners. We'll put those in there. Yes. So Hydro Okay, so that's Drew, and then you're... Okay, so Hydro is Dylan. Got it. I will do my best to remember that. All right, we got a couple more of those axles. Black axles. Different kinds of black axles. All right, I have already discovered that I need more boxes. A lot more boxes. The other idea too is as I build this, I can take these and put them back in the plastic storage box. That way, if someone comes along and decides they'd like to mess around with stuff, they won't be able to mess around with it. We're gonna need a lot more. We're gonna need a lot more box. A lot more box. Okay. I'm already getting to a point where I'm starting to combine stuff. We'll try to keep it separated out as much as possible. So those are axles. I'll stick those in there. Where do I want to stick these? All right, these are similar. We'll stick them in there as well. All right. We got a lot of these little blue bits as well. Man, there's a lot of stuff here. A lot. So this is a pretty small build compared to some of the other ones I have. I'll show you guys a little bit later. I have one that's like 6,000 pieces. This one's only 579 pieces. So with 579 pieces, I still have 2 bags left. And I've already filled up most of my boxes. So that is a little concerning. Let's see. All right, and we've got all these little bits too. We're going to actually combine these with the red or gray. All right, we did it with red. All right, 2 more bags to go. All right, now these 2 bags are bigger pieces, bigger parts, because these are actually skin parts, most likely. Like this is a fender right here, this is a fender. These bigger parts we'll actually just put in here. And then a lot of the big rail pieces we'll just stick in here. All right, that's a wheel. A couple more gears. Where's my gearbox? Gears. We're over here. But yeah, I'm super excited about this. This is, you build a Star Wars ship and it had 2,000 pieces. Now I gotta ask you, Drew, did you lose? Did you lose any pieces? I feel like I'm gonna lose pieces. I have a feeling I'm gonna lose pieces. That's why I got these boxes. But I'm realizing right now that, yeah, I don't have enough boxes. All right, we're going to combine those as well. All right, these are similar pieces to what? Those over there. All right. Nope, fully built. I think so. So you don't technically know for sure. Just maybe. But if it's fully built, you had to have had all the parts to it. All right, rail. Body kit part, rail. Hold off on that, rail. That's a special part. Axle. Okay, these. Body part, rail, body parts. Okay. Yeah, I definitely need more boxes. Okay, these are all the same. These are going to be stick them in here as well. Hopefully, I remember where these all are. That goes there. These are one-off parts, so I'm going to stick them in here. These, however, are also those. So we're going to stick those with these. All right, and then last but not least, the big package. Now, the other thing they told me is that, like, there should be extra parts in these sets, especially if they're a double build set. So when you're done, because this is a double build, there's some extra parts on there that will allow you to actually build the other set. So more body panels. All the body panels are going to go in here. This is actually the tail. I recognize those tail lights. Yep. So I'm imagining this is going to end up going something like that. Oh, maybe not. I could be wrong. All right, here we go. Double check. All right, all my rails go in here. I think we're actually going to be starting with that. All right, piece, rail, tires. I'm going to check out the rims on this as well. Axle, drive, stop axle piece. This is definitely, this is a gear. We'll put that with the gears. There's another one of those pieces, rail. All right, 4 tires, 4 rims. All right, so here's another thing I noticed. So these rims are set up. This side is the Corvette side. I don't know if you guys can see that. So there's actually a star pattern on it, which is reminiscent of a Corvette wheel. But if you flip over to the back, that pattern is a steel rim pattern, which is what you would normally find on a hot rod, which is common for hot rod builds. All right, so let's lay our bins out here. And then we can start our build. And I've got some extra pieces over here. We're gonna have to make sure we put those someplace too. Otherwise, they will end up getting swatted off the table. But I think this is part 1. So we take this part right here, and we're gonna need 4 of the black, 4 of these. So double check. So I've got 2 resources that I'm using here. The first one is the app itself and also the book. We're actually going to bring this over here and we'll go. So this part that we're building right now is actually the drivetrain for the vehicle. So, and I guess I'm going to probably need to have to check eventually what, because I really didn't check all the parts. All right, so this is the parts. So is it going to give us another parts listing? It is. All right, so same exact parts. So I'm wondering, and this is the first time I've used the app too. Let's see. Then I built an AT-AT. Yep, Star Wars, 7,000 pieces, and it was fully built, but when it was done, it wasn't balanced. Fell over. You just quit Legos for that? Well, I guess if it's an AT-AT, that had to be upsetting. All right, so I'm guessing the app doesn't really give you any directions, so it just gives you information about that. So we're done with the app. So let's get to the book. All right, so first piece is first. So we got this piece right here, which we'll call the H, which is the start of the drive shaft of our Corvette ZR1. So we're going to take 4 of these, and we're going to stick them in here. Let me double check to make sure that's what it is. That's what it is. Snap it in. And the other thing you got to kind of watch out for too is, are parts the right way? Because this technically could have a difference whether it's up or down. And that could be a problem. Is that the same part? No, that is not the same part. Uh-oh. Did I mess up already? I don't think I messed up already. I think these are all the same. That would be terrible if I messed up. Took 2 days. I don't know how long this is going to take. This is my first time. So some of these sets, I watched one guy who built the off-road crane. Took him 17 total hours to build the actual crane. And yeah, so I'm trying to guesstimate exactly what it is it's gonna. I think this is gonna take probably 2 or 3 streams. All right, so now we're looking at yellow axle, and it looks like we're looking at a short axle, which is this one right here. So the nice part is too, right here on the bottom, they actually have a 1-to-1 picture right there where my thumb is. So what you can do is lay the actual piece out on top. And that's a 1-to-1 match. So I know that that piece is what I need to use for this particular part. So we've got the axle. We need the, it's like the big tan gear. And we need a small black gear, or is that gray? Okay, so that's not it. I'm gonna guess that it's one of these right here. So this matches the picture. All right, so it's saying put the gear on like that. Push it flush. And then we're gonna send it through. And then we're gonna attach this on here. All right, there you go. Feel like we accomplished something there. Now here's the thing I want to check out. Let's see if we can, let's go to, I'm gonna go table cam here. Now eventually I plan on getting this set up so that I can mess with stuff, but we're gonna go table cam. I want to see. There it is. Let's see if we can't get this a little bit closer. It's hard to see, but we do have the ability. Looks like 125 is our max. Yep, 125. So hopefully that gets you guys in a little bit closer. All right, so we zoomed in a little bit. Just a little bit. Can you guys hear the music playing in the background too? Hopefully. Yes, you should be able to. All right, so this is what we built so far. All right, we got our 4 posts in and we've got our gear set up here. And I've learned from tips that when you put these together, you got to leave a little bit of a space so you get a free spin. All right, so step 1 is done, step 2 is done. Now we're going to move to step 3, which was that special piece that I saw, which is this one right here. And we're going to need, looks like 3 of these. And we're going to need 2 of the small axles, which again, 1-to-1 are matching here. So we need to get 2 of those. Now, here's where the fun starts. So let's see. So we're actually, all right, so this has got some bits in it to use. So there's a little piece here and a piece on this side. So what that allows us to do is allows us to insert, let me double check to make sure I got that right. Yep. So we're going to be able to insert this right here. And then this is going to be the tough part. I don't know if it's going to slot in there. Oh, it does slot in there. All right, so they have little slots in on the side. So it actually slots in and it'll keep it in there without it falling out. And then what we're going to do, we're going to take this puppy. It looks like we're going to put it right here. And then we're going to insert 2 axles on this side and one on this side. Wow, so that's a rear differential right there. That's actually pretty technical. So that allows each wheel to spin independently. If you can see that. That's pretty cool. All right. I'm pretty stoked about this. Like, oh, and of course, oops. Should have kept it in there. I got to playing too much and I messed it up. Yeah, so right now what I'm building, let me see if I can show you. I don't know if there's a picture on the bottom. Let's see if there is a better picture in the back here. All right, so I am building the bottom. What I'm building right now is the gearbox for the vehicle or the transmission. So it's rear differential. So when you're looking at the vehicle, so if we use this picture as a reference, so here's the vehicle. The part that I'm building is actually underneath here. So it's going to be under the backside between these 2 wheels right here. So between the back wheel over here and the back wheel over here. So it sits underneath. The gearbox is what drives the wheels forward to allow the vehicle to go forward. So we got that in there. And now I'm sure there's going to be some pieces that clamp off on the side. So we got part 3 done. I've got that done. Yep. All right. Now we come to the next part. So we are looking at 2 of these right here. 1 and 2. So this is what's actually going to clamp off the end. But these are the exact pieces. So this is what's going to lock it in the box. And I've got to be careful. I want to make sure I leave a little bit of space. Always leave a little bit of space, especially when you're working with gears. That way you don't get it ground up in there. It doesn't get locked in tight. But as you can see, what that allows this to do is this differential. I think it's called a differential, if I'm correct. It allows one wheel to spin while the other one is still. So it allows them to spin independently of each other. So if one stops moving, the other one can pick it up. Or if one's spinning, the other one will gain traction. If I'm correct in that. But that's pretty darn cool right there. And what's going to happen here is eventually, this is the part of the drive shaft that goes forward, I think. Yeah, it has to be here. And this will actually go forward towards the engine when we get to that part to build it. But dude, that's pretty cool right there. Like, I'm already stoked about this. That is pretty cool. Like, man. We didn't have stuff like this when I was a kid. That's for sure. All right, so moving on to the next part. All right, so this is the start of what looks like possibly the transmission. So we're going to need 2 of the blue axles. Oh, maybe they're not blue axles. So 2 of these. And then we're going to need 1 of those, which I think I put in. That should be Let's see. This is where I don't want to make a mistake. That should be in one of these, I'm guessing. So these are all my big parts. Okay, so we need one of those, and I need one black axle. And thank you for giving me a one-to-one picture, which helps me to figure out that that's the one we're looking for. All right, and I also need 2 of the orange pieces as well. All right, so that's what we need for the next part of the build. So 2 oranges, 1 black, 2 blues, and an axle. All right, and step 1 says we're gonna take this, pop it through here, and we're gonna take this, add it through that way. All right, now I'm hoping I'm doing this right. So if I look at the picture, yeah, I think I am doing it right. Because it's going to actually, you know what, I'll bet. Yeah, that's what I thought. You build 2 of them. I was a little worried about being on the other side. Now the other one I am going to have to worry about. All right, so there's the first one. So that is go right like that. So we need 2 pegs. So 2 of these, pop them down. There's 1 and 2. And then these right here, snap up. All right, fantastic. So we got that part built. Now, step 5 is we're going to repeat that process again. So we're going to need 2 of the blue. Make sure they're the same. These look different to me. Why is that? All right, they're the same. 2 of the blue. We need 1 of the pieces. Where did I have those? Right there. And 2 of the orange slot pieces. Make sure they're the same. Cool deal, cool deal. And 1 of the black axles. Excellent. That's not a black axle. I actually messed that up. All right, there we go. Sorry, I'll try to keep my big head out of the camera too. All right, 1-to-1. Good. So now we're going to build this other side here. So I've got to make sure this is what I got to make sure is set up right. We're actually going to go this way. Wow, see, this one's done a little bit differently, isn't it? So this one's actually telling us, so the other one told us to go oh, you know what? Did I do that backwards? I'll bet I did. I did do it backwards. All right, so I've already had a mess up. Okay, so this one we'll make sure we get right. I actually did that a little bit backwards. All right, so this is going to go on this side. And I need that extra to go to the back. This way. And these kind of click into place too, so that makes me feel good that I'm doing something right. Now here's the part I messed up. What they did was they took these and put them in here first. I actually did the process backwards. So what that means is the spacers on these are going to be incorrect. So what I'm supposed to do is take this and snap it up through here like this. So what I accidentally did was these I have in upside down. These are actually how they're supposed to go. And then they snap up through on that piece. So we're gonna have to fix that. So our first mistake. Dylan, I appreciate that. We'll have some more information on the TikTok eventually. I'm hoping that that helps drive some engagement towards our other channels. All right. So we've made this mess up here on this side, so I'm kind of hoping I can pull this off without breaking anything. So that went rather decent. Okay, good. All right, so we're correcting our mistake. So what they had is these posted in here. There we go. Now we've corrected it. All right, so first mistake corrected. We'll send this through, get it snapped in there. I feel like I need to get a little bit more of a zoom on this too. I might have to adjust this camera. Is this too far? Like, is it hard for you guys to see this? I can make it a lot closer if we want to. That is easy to do. All right, so there we go. Now these are extenders too, so I'm guessing there's going to be another axle part that goes through here. All right, cool, cool, cool. And I can also change my... If we just go building table. All right, this might be more of a better view for you guys. All right. I'm geeked out that this is possible. Like a differential. That's pretty darn cool. All right, next step. So we just did step 5. We got that in. Now we're going to go to step 6. For this one, we're going to need 2 more of these puppies. Oh no, did we already do step 6? I think we already did step 6. Yes, you know what? I'm also realizing we're going to need to, I might have to get some Post-it notes. What I'm realizing is what just happened too is I went back to look to see if I made a mistake on the 5th method, which made me think that I needed to go to the 6th method. But we already have the 6th method done. So we can put those back. All right, so next is going to be, we need a couple of the round ones, these right here. I'm guessing, you know what, these are, I wonder if these are the front steering. No, it can't be because this is a rear wheel drive vehicle. All right. You guys like it better without the paper or with the paper? Let me know. I feel like it's easier to see it with the paper. Let me know if you guys like it with the paper or without the paper underneath. Whatever the better view is. All right, so we've got 2 of these puppies. We're going to install them. One right here. With paper. All right, we'll keep the paper in there. Originally, I thought a black tablecloth would be the best option. But I'm realizing that may not be the case. It's a little bit hard to get it. Same piece though. All right, those 2 pieces are in. Now we're gonna go to 2 more small axles. So 1, 2, that's not a small axle. All right, so this is going faster than I thought it would. I got a little concerned, just a little concerned there. I thought I was missing something. And we need 2 of the gray, 2 of these right here. All right, so now what we're gonna do, so these are gonna be where wheels attach, I'm guessing. So we've got this, we've added that in. And we're going to add these axles through, which are going to allow these to spin as well. So it looks like, let's double check our 1-to-1 too. That's good. That's the same. All right, so we're going to insert the axles first. I'm going to guess that's how far they go in. They only go in so far. And then after we enter the axles, we actually take these, push them on. Now, question is, how far do you push them on? I'm going to push them on all the way. Just leave a little bit of play. And it looks like we've got the hex hub facing out too. All right. Part 8 done. We're up to part 9 now. Now it's getting a little more technical. So we're going to go with one small gray. That's what we got right there. And we need 2 of the black hinge pieces, which I think one, 2. All right, very good. 1 and 2, and then I need 1 red post. Is not what I'm looking for. Looking for one of these right here. All right, and then we need 1 orange. That. All right, so this is actually coming along fairly decently. I got to be honest with you guys. This is a lot more fun than I thought it would be. I'm really enjoying this. Like, when this thing is done, it's going to be sweet. And then I'll give you a comparison with an actual Corvette later on. You guys will like that. All right, so this is the way it faces. I've got everything done right. So now we're going to take, we got 2 of these, 1 axle, 1 red here. So now, step 1 is we're going to place this on here. Snaps in. Step 2, we're going to add this. I almost feel like this might be part of the engine. This could very well be part of the engine. All right, so now we're going to take this and put it at a 90. So just double checking and comparing with the booklet. And I'm looking at this picture right here to make sure we've got it right. That looks perfect. That comes in at 90. Got that. Supposed to have 2 of these. Oops. And then we take a second one of these, slide it on there, double check it with the picture, and then our red post goes in here. All right, now it's telling me we've got to slide this down over top of this like that. My guess is we're building 2 of these. All right, so this is pretty technical. So we got this part here. It's going to smack down over this part right here. Double check before I snap it on. Yeah, this is definitely not steering. I think it's transmission and rear wheels. Unless there's going to be something else that comes out here that allows the wheels to turn. Don't know. I'm just guessing right now. All right, so we got it. Let's see. We got these here. All right, so we're going to press. All right, that's connected. Now we got to go back. Step 10, we're going to go 2 of our little pieces again. 1, 2. And we need 2 of our black pieces that we had before. 1, 2. And we're looking for a gray axle. Double check. 1 to 1. That's good. And I need a red pin Double check it. All right, so now we're gonna build this one opposite direction. It's got to go this way. So we're gonna go. Oh, see? Now here's the other thing. So it does actually take the picture and it flips it for you. So you got to be aware of that. So this one's actually facing the opposite direction. So I've got to pay attention to that. Otherwise I will mess this up. But part one, let's insert this puppy here. Part two, we're going to insert this along here. Some of these are kind of hard to push in. All right, step three, we're going to add this next part facing away. Step four, add the next orange facing this way. And we're going to add this puppy facing out that way. So now we've got this part right here. All right, not bad. It's going well so far. Going well. I'm still amazed by the... I keep showing you guys this, but like... So that's independent. So this one can spin backwards, that one can spin forward. That's what a differential does for a car. And I guarantee this is going to be the transmission. That's going to be the drive line that goes up to the engine. All right. So that was step 10. You know what we're going to do? Each time I complete a step, I'm going to... maybe not. We'll keep our spots. All right, so moving on to step 11. We got step 10 done. Things are coming along pretty good. This is nice. This is a nice build. So step 11 is going to take us to... We need 2 of those pieces. And they're flat pieces, which is going to be 2 of these. This is the nice part about separating everything out into a bin. I am able to pick these out fairly quickly without a problem. Now, what it's doing, we got 2 of these, so it's asking us on the back side, clamp these in. The part's the same all the way around, so we're just going to pop these on. And I'm thinking push it all the way down. Same thing on this side. Adding it across these 2 little axles that are sticking out. Pop that down. So now we've got that. So part 12. Flop it this way. So now we need a couple of these grays. Let's see, what do I need? I need a T, 2 T's. I need 2 black hubs, and I need 1 red of these. Now, looks like we're gonna take these 2 T's and place them in here like this. We're gonna snap 2 of these up in here. This is moving a little bit quicker than I thought it would. Much, much quicker. All right, so we got the drive, so this is going to snap down in here. Done. All right. Next, we're going to use a large T. So one of these. And one of these. So we got 2 of these. We're already to step 13, and we're making pretty darn good progress. All right, so we're going to take these and we're going to add them as, looks like cross members or something like that. So one goes here on this side. In. One goes on this side. Locked in. And the next part is we're going to take 2 of our long blues. And these were actually going to pop in at the bottom part right here. Okay. Starting to move along a little bit quicker. I like it. All right. Let's see here. But yeah, if you watch kind of my social media post over the next couple of days to the end of this week, I'll be posting a little bit more information about the why we're building the orange Corvette. But I do like to tell a little story of when I was a kid. My sister played volleyball in high school, and we would always go up to watch her volleyball games. And when we would go up to watch the volleyball games, we got part 14 done. Oh, see, now we're getting some body rails in here. So we need... But as we would drive up, we would go past this dealership that sold used cars. And on one side of the used car lot, they had a lineup of Corvettes. And there was a green one, a brown one, an orange one, and a blue one. And every time we would go by, when we would go to watch my sister's volleyball games, I would always point out the orange Corvette, and I would always ask my dad if he would buy that orange Corvette so we could work on it together and build it. He never did. I could never get him to bite on it. But after begging for so long, I'm like, you know what? I'm done begging. And I told myself, when I get older, I am going to buy myself an orange Corvette. So I've actually owned 2 Corvettes in my lifetime. The first one was a resto mod that I did. So I actually purchased the vehicle and then did some restoration on it. Built it up. All right, so it's got confusing now. So we've completed part 14, which gives us this. So we've got the drive and everything figured out. So when we go to part 15, so we got the 2 blues in on 14. When we go to 15, so I'm guessing this picture up here, I'm guessing that picture is going to be what we end up with. And we're just going to start here at 15 with that. See, that's where it gets a little confusing. I'm not sure what this picture up here is related to. So I'm guessing that's the finish component. This is the start. Step 15 is the start of the next component. So if I'm correct, we finished the first component, which is the differential, which is going to drive the rear tires of the vehicle. And I'm guessing this part is going to go out towards the engine. So we're going to set that up here for the time being. This next part, I'm guessing, is going to be the rails and drive shaft for the vehicle. But it says 2 of the long rails, 2 of these, and I need 2 small black pieces right here. All right, and this is where we got to use our counting skills. Put this in there. So the first one says we're going to take a rail, and we're going to insert long end in first, and then we're going to go down 2 holes, insert the second, and then we're going to come up 4 holes on the back side, and we're going to insert 2 of these. So double check to make sure we got 4. Insert there, and then that's what we end up with. So it only has us do 1. I'm just going to double check. All right, so we're only working on 1 right now. So we're working on 1 side of this build. And eventually we're going to come up with the second side and add that on. We're going to put this back for the time being because we don't need that. All right, so part 1 of build's over. Now we're looking at, double check that we got a long L is correct. And it looks like this is going to snap on. Oh, you know what? I did that backwards. Glad we caught that. It should go this way. 4 in, Snap on. Snap on. Oh, take this. Add it on here. All right, we got that. Next part is going to be a gray, and we have a half axle and one of our orange pieces like this. That's what I'm looking at. I don't think that's what I'm looking at. Is there a different piece? Ah, there is. Okay, we actually have that. You know what? Let's go back a few steps real quick and double check. All right, so we got that right. There's pieces that are similar. I just wanted to check to make sure we got that. All right, so we got what we need. All right, so this is going to be our out. This is going to be our in. Got this here. So the first step is we're going to take our black axle and insert it this way. And I think it looks like it's correct. We'll insert that there, and then this goes forward like that. So we end up with a piece looks like that. These move a little bit. Now I do believe the steering in this particular build actually moves the steering system. It actually steers the wheels. I could be wrong, but I think it's actually something that is doable. All right, moving on to the next part. We need our red. One of these. I need a brown. Check. It's got to be brown long. I get scared every once in a while. I look in the box and I'm like, I can't find that. So we got one brown long. We need two of our short blues. I don't think that's it though. Is that it? No, that's not it. No, we're looking at a different piece. I could be wrong. Let me double check. Yeah, see, those are actually... Oh, here we go. Found them. They were hidden in the blues. All right, so we need two of those. We need one gray. One gray piece. Let's see here. All right, I know I put my grays in the same box. So what are we looking at? We're looking at a small, almost want to call it a gray axle washer or a gray axle spacer. There we go. Got it right there. So we got one of those, two of those, one of those, and we need one black cogwheel. All right. So next part, we're going to take our red, insert two blues on either side. Very good. Then we're going to take brown and we're going to insert it. Ooh. Insert it through there. We're going to add this piece. So I'm double checking. That looks like the picture, but we don't go all the way in. We actually add this piece in right here. Everything lines up like that. So we should end up with something that looks like that right there. Not bad, not bad. All right, once that's in, it looks like we take this and we insert it in the second hole. All right, so I am... That's a little weird. So I'm not sure if there's going to be an axle that comes through here that adjusts to that. But who am I to guess? All right, so that's got that. So I'm guessing we're going to build part 2 over here. Oh, okay, that makes sense. All right, so that's what that yellow arrow means. Take this, and we're going to push it through so it blocks in. And we're going to leave a little bit of a gap so it gets a spin to it. All right, so that makes sense. There we go. Now that's the way it's supposed to be. So I needed to push this all the way in. But that spins freely, so we're good there. All right, so we got that part done. Wait, what just happened? So we push that in here. All right, so now we need one orange. These. And we're going to be inserting that here. This is what's going to allow me to extend that drivetrain. I'm going to leave just a little bit of a gap. Allow it to spin freely. Always remember, building with building with Technic. The biggest tip that I got from people when they were talking about making sure things move is always leave a gap. If you don't leave a gap and you put everything tight, then things will not move as smoothly as they should. So always leave a gap and make sure things spin freely, and that will allow you to have a well-oiled machine when you're done. All right. Next part. Looks like we're putting together a big gear. So we're going to need blue. All right. So we're going to need gray. 1-to-1 comparison. That is correct. Blue, gray. I'm going to need one of these again. And I'm going to need one these right here. All right. So double check to make sure we got what we need. All right, very good. So it looks like first things first, we're going to build this axle piece right here. And then we're going to insert it this way. Then we're going to add our big blue piece. Definitely spins on top of that. So I'm guessing this is going to actually contact with something because this is free spinning on this axle. So this axle is not going to spin. So this is free spinning. So this gear is actually going to make that gear spin. And this gear is going to have to make another gear spin, which looks like it's going to be a black gear. So then this gear will go on the outside, which is what will lock it in. Okay, let's double check to make sure we got that right. We got orange into axle with blue with small gear on backside. All right, very good. Now we're going to need the next step, which is 2 of the small yellow axles. So yeah, first phase was the differential. Second phase, this is going to be, I think, the bottom frame and transmission drive line, which is what we're working on right now. So we got 2 of these. I need one of the gray crossovers, which could be in here or over here. Best tip I got was to separate everything out. Fantastic. Had I not done that, I'd be digging for pieces and wouldn't know what to do. It would take much longer. I think this is going to make things go quicker. All right, so we got 2 axles and 1. So it looks like it's telling us to go this. Got to space it out evenly. We're going to need one of these brown axles. Perfect. All right. So that's not quite evened out yet. There we go. Okay. So we got that part done. Now it's telling us to insert this part up here. That. We're going to adjust this just a little bit. I think I pushed it in too far. Okay. I think I'm going to zoom the camera in a little bit too to give you guys a better view. Maybe bring it down to eye level so it's a little bit closer. And then this part, we're actually going to stick through. Free spin right there. And then add the black gear, which I did not get out. All right, so this slides on here. Perfect. And I was correct. It does spin another gear. I'll make sure it's not too tight in there. All right, everything's spinning freely. So this is what we've got so far. So I was correct. This gear is a spin gear, which is turning this top gear right here. All right, so that worked out well. Okay, we got that part done. Now we're on to step 23, which gives us another L. If I'm correct. Yep. Call that a 4x1, or could be a 3x2. We'll call it a 4x1 with the axle part. And we need 2 small black inserts. 1, 2. And it looks like we're going to insert these down here at the bottom. All right, and then we're actually going to come across. Nice. We just actually finished the opposite side of that. How sweet is that? Ha! Perfect. All right, so that locks the gears in. So that changes the ratio. That's not bad. Still spins freely. All right, excellent, excellent. This is nice. This is coming along. All right, now we finish up with our second rail. Looks like we got to get 2 of our long peg posts. 1 rail. So now we take that and we're going to insert 1st and 4th. And then this is actually going to insert here. Just like this. Double check. That's what I'm looking at. That's what we got. Would you look at that? Not bad. All right. That was step 24. On to step 25. Things are coming along. So we got the drivetrain and the differential set up. Now this is going to be the frame and the actual bar that goes to the engine. I almost guarantee that's what we're looking at right there. All right, so we got this right here. So we need 2 of the red pegs with the hexes or the axle slides on the end. So we got 2 of those, and it looks like we're going to slide these on right here. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to grab yellow, but not that long. Yellow axle and orange connector. Yellow axle, orange connector. Pop those together. This goes on brown piece right there. So now we end up with what looks like, this is probably going to go to the engine, I'm guessing. I'm just guessing how it fits in there, but we will see. We'll see. Perfect. All right, step 27. Ah, we are marrying it. Perfect. Okay, so we're taking this gray and we're inserting it into why is that not working? Oh, there it is. Okay. That makes sense. All right, so now we're marrying 2 parts here. This is actually pretty cool. Okay, so we're actually taking our part 1 build, our part 2 build, and we're going to slide it in there like that. Dude, that is really geared down. Like the ratio on that is making things spin really slowly. It's actually not making anything spin. All right, but this is going to make something spin. Okay. I'm getting concerned. In my mind, the gears are not lining up. But this looks like it's got it. Okay. She's taking shape, ladies and gentlemen. She's taking shape. All right. Oh, now that's... Okay, so this is cool too. So here, they had us set these up with them sticking out. So now once we have the parts married together... Now we're just going to push those in and it's going to lock it in place. That's pretty cool. It's like, think about how much like thought process goes into building something like this. That's pretty cool. So it says go ahead and take the blue and push it in. So we got 1 in on that side. And line up. So we pushed in blue and we're going to push in the red ones too. So that pushes in and then this one inserts. So there you have it. So these locked in. So now we have the 2 parts married together. And they're going to be doing 2 separate things now because of the way the gears interact. So this, I'm guessing, is probably going to be drive shaft. I'm not sure what this is. Might be something completely different. But there, that piece is done. All right, excellent. So the build is coming along. So we're going to set this piece aside. And it looks like we're going to build in the next part that goes to the engine. All right, so here we go. Looks like we need 1 of our L's. I think is this one. That's a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 by 3. And we need 1 of our H converters. So we're going to take this, hold it this way, and we're going to insert that, looks like, into hole 2 and hole 4. Double check. Hole 2, hole 4. Inserted. Now we're going to get a single axle piece. Looks like, can't tell, that looks like it's gray. Yep. So that's one of those special pieces right there. Gray, and then we're going to need an orange link. 2 of those. All right. Excellent. So now what it's asking us to do is to marry these parts together. So we're going to take this, attach it here, and then we're going to slide it through top hole, and then marry 2 these top. Making sure to leave a little gap for spin. It's a little tight. Loosened up just a little bit. There we go. And second one, looks like we're going gear in again. Perfect. All right. Next part, we're going to go 2 red pegs. We need one of these. One of these. Now what it's showing me is over the top, we are going to insert that there. And we're going to insert this. That. All right. Stage 2, we're going to take another 1 by. So we need this piece, and we need, double check, one of these pieces. This piece will actually go here. Make sure it's facing the right direction. This is an insert piece right here. Pop that puppy in there. So now we've got what looks like the second part of our other side of that. So now all we need to do is add the L piece. All right, so we got that done. On to step 33. So we need a second 4x3. Is this right here. And before we add that, we need 1 black peg. This is what we're looking at right there. So it's asking us to go here, link this in. See, I'm wondering why it's adding a black one in on that side and not a red one. They obviously have a good reason. They're the ones that made this set, but it's always like when things are just a little bit off, it makes me slightly concerned. There we go. All right, so everything is snapped together. Picture matches. Now we add this piece right here. And I'm going to guess this is just a standard adapter piece. All right, so that piece is done. Now it looks like we're going to marry this piece. So we got our frame differential, and this is going to marry in right here. Double check, we got yellow coming out. This is curved facing in. Let's attach it. And then the next part is we're going to need 1 these gray. We need a gray axle. Double check our 1-to-1. Good. Axle will go through. And it appears as I go through, I've got to space this. So there's a gap here where I'm going to slide this axle through. And as I slide it through, I'm going to need to pick this piece up in the middle. There you have it. That's a little tight. I want to loosen this up a little bit. There you go. That's where your gapping is important. So when I spun this, it was a little bit tight. So I increased the gapping a little bit. Makes the spin less frictiony. So we're good. All right. We're coming along. We're moving along a lot faster than I thought we would. All right, so we completed step 35. We're moving on to the next step, which is 36. Now it's going to tell us we need 2 of our gray posts. All right, we'll check our 1-to-1. Make sure they're the correct ones. They are. They match. We need 2 of our black connectors and 1 red with post, which I believe is that one right there. And we need 2 blue flat connectors. I believe are those. There. All right. First things first, we'll take the first rail. Looks like we're going to go 4 in from the back. We'll insert the first post. And then we're going to go with blue. 2 in. This way. Then we're going to go with black, 1 right after that. So we end up with something that looks like that. Double check it, make sure. Don't want to mess this up. Okay. So it's asking us to do that 2 times. Question is though, why is it asking me to do that 2 times? Oh, because I needed 2 of those. That makes sense. All right, so it looks like these are actually going to attach this way. Which means I need to build one on this side. That is the opposite. I hope. We're going to go 4 in. First one. Second in here. Third in. That's one of those ones right there where I'm like, I'm not sure that's what it's supposed to look like, but I think that's going to work. Then we go like this right here. All right, and then it says attach rails. All right, so that's okay. So that makes sense. So this symbol right here means repeat the process. So over the course of time of doing this, I'm going to learn what those symbols mean. So it'll make building the next set easier. But that's kind of the reverse symbol. So you're going to build this, but reverse it. So it's like the reverse Uno card is what it looks like. So what I did was I built the first one, I made it this way, and then the second one I built, I made it the opposite way. So now it looks like we're going to go ahead and attach them this way. So one right here and one right here. Double check the picture, looks good to me. There you have it. All right. Oh, you know what we're doing next? So we're working towards the engine next. So when you see the pistons go up and down in the engine, that's the next part that we're going to be working on. But there are actually two drive shafts that come off of this. One is for the wheels, but I'm not sure what this one is for. Oh, you know what? I'll bet that's the one that makes the engine go up and down. Just bet. All right. I'm excited. I feel like we got a lot done. Look at that. All right. Let's adjust something real quick. See if we can bring this in a little bit closer. That might be. See, and it's not. Let's see. We got. Doesn't make sense. What? Oh, you can see it. All right, I was like, I kind of wanted that out of the way. We'll leave it there for the time being. So if you guys wonder what this is, that's the top-down camera that we're running. I'll play with it. The zoom is very... it's not very good. It only goes up to 125. But I do want you guys to see this up close. But this is what we've got done so far. And I'm guessing... I'm trying to figure out what we got going on here. In my mind, I'm trying to put it together. I know these are going to be this has to be the back wheels right here. So these are the axles for the back wheels. But I'm stumped as to what this gear ratio does right here. But it's Lego Technic. It'll amaze me when we get to that point. Absolutely amaze me, I'm sure. I'm amazed right now where we're at. Okay, so we just finished part 36. Now we're going on to part 37. So we're going to need another H. And it looks like, is that a gray? We're going to need this gray. Let's double check it. It matches. We're going to need one yellow. And we're going to need a spacer, which I think is this right here. All right, so the next part we're building is this right here. So it gives you a pre-picture of what you're building. If you guys are looking in the book with me here, that's actually a picture of what we're building, and then it goes into the steps or parts that are needed, and then it shows you the steps to build. All right, so it's pretty straightforward. I'm happy about that. All right, so it looks like we're going to take this, insert that through there. Looks like it can go all the way. This is what's going to make the engine spin, I guarantee it. This inserts here, and then this is going to come all the way down and lock it in. But again, we're going to remember, leave a little bit of gap so that it spins freely. Looks like it's doing very good. All right, so we got that part built. Now the next part is we're going to need one of these red ones and one of these orange ones. So this looks like the camshaft. Looks like we're getting ready to build the camshaft here. So what it's asking me to do... Oh, you know what? That's the wrong piece. I'm glad I caught that. I had the wrong piece. Where did I get this from? This was in the reds, which is over here. Uh-oh. There we are. Where did I get this? All right, we're going to stick that over there. But these are the pieces we're looking for. Right here. It always helps to double check. All right, so it looks like we've got this here. We're going to add this. Slider down. This is definitely going to be the camshaft. I can tell that already. then we're going to add this at a 90. Pop it through. Okay, and then it's asking for a second. Let me double check. Did I get the right part? You know what? I think I used the wrong part. Did. So it wasn't that one. It was this one. There we go. All right, good, good, good. This I need to put back. It's in this part right here. I need this part. Double check it. Yes. So now we're going to slide this one facing down. And then we're going to slide this one facing 90 of that. So now we end up with this, which definitely looks like that's going to be our camshaft. So what happens is the pistons and the explosion from the pistons cause the camshaft to spin, which in turn cranks the motor. Converts that power. I think that's how it works. I'm not an expert on engines, but I'm guessing that's how it works. All right, so step 39 done. Moving on to step number 40. We're going to need a yellow spacer and another H member. Slide that down. Another H member, we'll apply that there. And it looks like we need ourselves a bridge. I call these bridges or connectors. There you go. Okay. So that is done. Everything looks good. So now we're going to move on. That was step 41 we just did. Step 42, we're going to need... We're going to need a rail. Double check the size. That is the correct size. We're going to need yellow. Yes, it's going to be the short one. Double check it. 1-to-1, that is correct. Red, yellow, and we need the gray. Long gray, which is the same size as that. Double check it on the 1-to-1. That's what we need. All right. We need, let's see. So we've got those parts. There. And it looks like need 2 of those. So it's interesting that it went in that step to get me to do that first. It looks like we're gonna need 2 of these with the rail. And we're gonna snap 2 right here, spaced out. This. Then we're gonna slide this puppy over. And here at the bottom, so we're doing this on the bottom. That matches. All right, so that connects up there. We're looking at it like this. Space, space. Double check. All right, let's click it in. Got that. Now, got the gray, we got the yellow, and I need another extension. So it's telling us to go here, here. And it looks like we're actually going to slide this through the bottom portion. That's crazy. We're going to add this to this. Nope, I did that wrong. This little yellow piece actually comes out the front. There we go. So that's the way it should look. We got 2 in the back, 1 on the front with the connector and the bridge. Then that goes right there. We flip the page. We're going to go back to... We need 1 of these, 2 of these, and match our 1-to-1 gray. You need 2 of those. Good. So 2 and 2 and 1. Now it's asking us to marry parts. So what we're going to do, first thing is we're going to snap these 2 in, spaced. Then this part goes right here. All right, this is definitely a crankshaft. Absolutely a crankshaft. All right, so that looks like the picture. Next thing we do is we add in our extensions on the back side. Looking good. And then we need what looks like 2 big blue pegs. I'm gonna guess those are it right there. I want to double check. That looks like what it is. And it's showing that we want to insert this peg in here. And yes, all the way. And I'm going to guess this peg as well. All the way. Now I just want to double check. I'm a little confused. It looks like they're asking us to insert that. I'm guessing that seals in all the way, doesn't it? Yep. All right, so these with the little lips on them, you got to take them and shove them in all the way. There we go. Now they're even on the sides. All right, I was a little worried about whether that would fit or not. Okay, so now we need 4 of our... These it. Those are not it. It might be it. Okay, this is actually... Let's double check. So what it's looking like is we need actually these parts right here. We're going to stack those back in here. So we need 4 of these puppies. And what that allows us now, we'll snap those over on that. So we got those. And it looks like we're snapping this way. I can see what's happening now. In my mind, I can see what they're doing. I can see what's going to happen. All right. This is the crankshaft. There's actually going to be a couple other little pieces that spin off of this. So when the crankshaft moves, what'll happen is that'll cause, there's probably going to be 3 or 4 of them up here. It'll cause them to go up and down while the engine's running. So it'll look like a piston going up and down. All right, so now it looks like we need 4 of the big connector posts. And we're going to insert those. Looks like this way. So we're going to put 1, 2, pop that all the way in. And then these are actually going to go in this way. Okay. What it looks like. Okay. Looks like the picture. On to step 48. Okay, so we're going to need 2 spacers. 1, 2. And we're going to need 2 crossovers. It's going to be these right here, I think. I can't tell you how big the tip was to have everything put in an actual little place. That is huge. If you're thinking about doing Lego Technic, or any Lego set for that fact, having bins to place all the parts in and kind of get them separated out, huge, huge tip. Definitely do it. I've got them all. In fact, I may have to buy a couple of more bins because this set's only 579 pieces. I've got a couple of sets that are actually like over a couple of thousand pieces, which is nuts. I'm enjoying this though. This is awesome. So all you folks out there that are like Lego friendly folks, like, this is fun. And the reason why I started doing this is I've always enjoyed working with my hands. And through this whole pandemic, like over the last, since we went in lockdown, which was like, I remember March 16th was the day that we went into lockdown. They told us that we were going into lockdown. And originally when that happened, I was thinking, oh, well, we went home from work like on the 16th thinking, oh, 2 weeks we'll be back. We'll be ready to go. And it turned out that 2 weeks turned into almost a year. And it'll actually be a year, like March 15th. It'll be just a day short of the year. And we'll be back to normal, almost normal work setting. But I started this because I was pretty much, like, I feel like my brain has not had to work in forever. Like, I've had to work, but because of the lockdown and being in quarantine and not having a lot of contact with people, not traveling, like, I haven't been able to use my brain like I want to. And to keep it active, keep it sharp, keep it going, like to keep my spirits up. And I got to a point where I'm like, I got to do something. So as I was scrolling through Amazon, a Lego Technic set popped up. And I'm like, all right, I like that idea. Let's try that. So I got the first one and I looked at it. I'm like, okay, this kind of brings back memories of when I was a kid. And I really enjoyed building stuff like erector sets. And I decided, you know what? Let's make this a series on Twitch. We'll call it Technic Tuesday. Lego Technic Tuesday. And you can come in and enjoy with me and enjoy just watching the build. These videos will also be posted up on YouTube. I'll try to do it 24 hours after the stream. I'll upload the stream to YouTube. So this will be part 1 of the Lego Technic ZR1 Corvette build. And so far it's going pretty awesome. All right, so we are on step 48. So we need to take these and we're going to need 2 of our black pins. And it looks like we're going to place these puppies on here like this. So we're going to insert a pin and then insert a spacer. We're going to do that twice. Pin and spacer. So we end up with something that looks like that. Now the question becomes, how do I connect that? Looks like I'm connecting it to the blue right here. And then letting it ride in that slot. Oh, you know what? Yep, that's what I thought. Yep. All right, so we got that positioned right. This first one's going to slide in here. And it's going to be at an angle. Second one, same position. At an angle as well. Is that a... Okay, I thought, wow. I thought that was broken, but it's not. You know what, though? Okay. There's an odd... The way these pieces are shaped, I just want to make sure I got it right. So in the middle here, I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's actually a cutout right along these lines right here. So it cuts out right there. So you got to make sure they go in correctly. But it looks like if you follow the picture, it will automatically just work for you. But I always want to double check. Because nothing's worse when you get close to the end of the build and you realize, oh crap, put something in incorrectly. All right, so we got that on and that on. Now we got to go back to those. So we're going to need 2 more of our 90s, which I got out of here. So I believe that's one and this one. So that's the last of those parts too. We do not need those anymore. All right, so now, what is it asking us to do? It looks like it's asking us to slide. Oh. I just want to make sure. Go this way. I feel like it goes this way. Because there is a little indentation. Because those are indented that way. I'm going to guess it's like a little indentation right here on the lip. I'm going to guess because those other two are that way. We're going to take this one and put it that way as well. Feel like that's it. Feel like it. I don't know if it is or not, but we'll find out. All right, and this one slides on as well. All right, there you have it. All right, to step 50, I need 2 of my red bridges, or 1 of my red bridges. All right, and that's going to go right here. Double check the part. It's the same on both sides, which means ambidextrous. There you go. All right. Boom. Done. All right. Step 51. Looks like we're now marrying. Oh, how sweet is that? Okay, so again, back to the interesting part of this. So these were one of the first parts we put in, and I thought they would use to connect something on the outside, but they're not actually for that. They're actually push locks, push lock mechanism. So what's going to happen is we're going to marry these 2 parts together right here. So these 2 axles will actually marry into those 2 drives on that side. We're going to push that all the way in. And then these are going to press in and lock in that place. Doesn't it though, Dylan? Dude, it's coming along. We got a lot farther on this than I had expected us to get tonight. I was thinking this would take a lot longer than it has. So now this is pretty much the base of the car. So I've got everything locked in. pop these in. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right. So now so Dylan, I usually, my streams, now my normal, when I'm playing video games, my normal video game streams are 3 hours long, and I usually finish at 9:30. But because this is a Technic build, and this is the first time I've done a Technic build, we're going to go till about 9 o'clock, another 15 minutes, and we're going to see how far along we are. And sweet that is. That's pretty awesome. We're going to see how far along we are, and then that might be a good cutoff point. But typically 3, but a minimum of 2 hours. So I think we're almost to a cutoff point. We'll see what the next steps look like, but this is pretty much step 51. We pretty much locked it in. So I'm 100% sure now. This is where the engine's going to be. Right here. So the engine will be sitting in here. This will be the back of the car. These are the back wheels where these 2 axles are. So you'll actually have almost what looks like 2 wheels back here. So I'm going to guess it looks like that. So these are the 2 wheels that go on there. And then the next part we build is probably going to be out front here. And that's going to end up... See, I'm trying to figure out this too. So this spins. Now I'm just wondering if I missed something. Oh, no way. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I am, okay. All right, so holy cow, I just discovered this. All right, so the rear differential, one wheel can spin, doesn't make the camshaft spin. But if you apply double, the wheels spinning in the back do make the camshaft spin. All right, so here's what's going to happen now. When I push the car, when the wheels move at the same time, they're going to cause the camshaft to go. So oh, that's pretty sweet. Like that is, I'm sitting here like if you spin the camshaft, it also makes the wheels go. But this one down here, I'm still not sure what this is for. That makes the camshaft go. So this is be the engine. What is this up here for? So this all the way at the back spins this whole drivetrain up through here. So I'm not sure what that's going to do. Because if this were the steering mechanism, it would be up here. All right, well, we're learning. We're going. We're figuring it out. Okay, what's next? All right, we got a couple builds. So we're going to go for about 15 more minutes, I think. Because the next couple of steps are actually going to add on to the engine compartment. And then we're going to see where we're at once we get to step 69. And 70. Because once we get to 71, we start putting interior pieces in. All right. This is pretty sweet. I'm enjoying this big time. All right. So we're done. We're done with this. But how sweet is that? Like, you can spin tires independently. Doesn't do anything. But when you spin both tires in the same direction, that makes that spin. But what's going to be cool is there's actually yellow pieces that'll be on top that will actually, they'll actually go up and down just like an actual piston in an engine, which is going to be those pieces right there. So as you're pushing the car, those pieces are going to go up and down like pistons moving. Man, person who put this kit together, they gotta be pretty smart. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I'm that smart. I don't think I would have the patience or the smarts to put that together. All right, so step 51 is done. So now we're gonna move over to step 52 through probably 60, 69 or 70. And then we'll go through there. But piece-wise, we need what looks like one of these, and it's asking us to insert that into there. I'm gonna double check to make sure. All right, looks like those are all the same. Okay, and then the next step for 53 is we're gonna take one little black axle and one of these. And these look like the piston drivers. We're actually probably going to repeat this process a few times. So let's see. Let's double check to make sure we got it right. So we are going to be inserting that into there. And this is actually going to slide over like that. All right, so I'm guessing these are going to be what drive the piston. So this is what we just built there. I'm thinking maybe it's going to be on the top, and this is going to go up and down. I could be completely wrong about that. But that's just my guess. That's my guess right now, where I'm thinking we're headed. All right, so step 54 gives us another L rail, which is a 3x4 or 3x5. There we go, 3x5 rail. One of our connectors. So we're going to take the 3x5 rail, place it here. Connector goes in hole number 2 in the 3 sec. And then we're going to come here and we're going to insert this into holes 1 and 3 of the long part of the rail. Double check to make sure that a little awkward. Pop that in. So we've got that. Now we're going to take a second 5x3. Double check. Okay, did that. All right, so the second 5x3's got to be whole. All right, 5x3. So as I'm watching, I'm double checking. Some of these pieces are very much similar, but the difference is, for instance, this has got an axle slot. This does not have an axle slot on it. But as long as you're paying attention to the number of holes, I think you'll be all right. So it looks like we're doing this right here. Hole number 2. Inserting it there. And then we have this piece right here. Which is the piece that's in the picture. So there we have it, step 55. Let's go to 56. All right, so we're gonna need red long rod, and we're gonna need a new part that I haven't used yet. That's one of these. So it's a 3x axle. 3x axle. I'm just making these names up as I go, by the way. So we'll figure it out. But looks like we're gonna take this and we're gonna insert the axle like that. And then we're going to insert this puppy like this right here. Double check. All right. So that's what we have right there. Now we are going to marry that part to the front right here. Oh, that's cool. I want to double check. It looks like we are ahead of that. So, okay. So now we're marrying these two parts together. And I'm just double checking to make sure everything is where it should be. So this part, the picture is matching. We're looking really good. Just want to double check to make sure. Got that part out. My guess is this is definitely going to be part of the steering, because now we've transferred. Now we have up and down, which is going to be, I think, the steering for the vehicle. Double check. Looks like we're on the last one. Insert that. All right, so we got that done. My guess is we're probably going to build a second one of those for the other side. So that's what it looks like inserted on that side. Pretty sweet. All right, back at it. So it looks like we're going to need, again, one big red. We're going to take those, insert it into the axle. One of these and these. Did I use one of those on the last? I don't think I did. Did I? I did. We'll check. All right, so now we have this. Going to insert that in there like that. This we're going to slide down like this. Another 3x5 or 4x5. No, 3x5. That's a 3x5. Double check. We got 3x5 and one of these. And it looks like it's telling us second slot on the 3 side. We're going to insert this right there. And then, looks like we're going to insert that. Just like that, right? Double check. That's what the picture looks like. Which means it's going to end up coming out like that. All right, so I know the direction we're headed in. So now we need to get our second 3x5. Double check that. Okay. Good. And then our second 3x5 is going to go second hole, slot like that. That was step 61. Now we go to the next step. We're going to need one of those new pieces that we've used. This is a transfer from across to an over. We're going to need one of these. So now we're going to insert. I think it's on this side. Insert that right there. Double check the picture, make sure it's right. Snap it in. Got it. And then we're going to marry that part to this side. Means go single on the outside. Double check. That looks the same too. All right. There you have it. Fantastic. Man, this is coming along. I like it. What's next? What's next? We got that done. All right, so again, if you're doing this for the first time, this symbol right here, that's the reverse symbol. That's the one you got to pay attention to because that could mess you up in the long run. All right, so now let's see. Looks like we're going to go. All right, we're getting close. How much time do we have left? We got about 6 minutes. We're gonna need one of those and 2 of our long inserts. And then we're gonna take that, pop it in there. Take that, pop it in there. Are we actually passing that underneath? We are. So we're taking this piece and passing it underneath here. And then it looks like we're actually popping in. This is a cross member, so we're going to pop those 2 in there. That's actually pretty genius. There we go. That's locked in. It's locked. All right. So very good. Looks just like the picture too. So now we've got that set. I almost to the point where like when you build this, like, see how the slots are not facing the same direction? I feel like when I build this, I should probably pay detailed attention to making sure, like, make sure the slots, it's probably not a big deal. Like, make sure the slots face. I don't know if I want to do that, though. We'll just see how this goes. We'll pay attention to that in the next build and see. That could be being, like, a little too OCD about it. And that could hamper things. All right. So we did that. Now it looks like step 65 is we take 2 more posts. And we're actually going to lock this in on this side. Long part down. Good. And better. All right. This is definitely going to be the steering mechanism for the vehicle. There's a little steering wheel. Where's that at? It's going to be in this parts pile. And I'm going to look. All right, so the steering wheel, if you can see, try to hold it over the white. It's got notches. We're not going to use that. Got notches which fit an axle. So my guess is you can actually take the steering wheel and steer the front tires. That's just my guess right now. I don't see that in any of the pictures, but I do see it in the picture of the hot rod. Oh, yep, it's a little bit on there too. So the steering wheel is going to make the front wheels turn as we go. But all right, let's finish this part up. We're almost to step 69, which is where we'll finish up today. All right, so we got our 2 posts in, so step 65 is done. Now we're moving to step 66, which we're going to go back to our H cross. We're going to need 2 nut spacers. And we're going to need 1 brown axle. Dead end axle is what we call that. Same size. Oops, don't drop that. All right, so we're going to take our H like this. Dead end axle will go through. Let's do that 2 times. Oh, I see what it's saying. Okay, so that goes in there. Oh, let's have 2 of those. Got to pay attention to your numbers. I skipped over that. So I should have 2 of those, 2 of those. Got 2 of that. I need 1 more H cross. There we go. Okay. Then I'm going to guess that because this is pretty much equivalent, that we're going to be able to do something like this, which will make it actually work. So these are actually going to flip out like this. All right, so let's marry these parts together. So it says we are going to do what? What are we doing here? So it looks like we are, so that's the yellow part here. The part that goes in going to be like that. Double check. So if we actually turn the picture the correct way, we've got space out front. We're inserting this into the gray. And do the same on this side, making sure the brown stays back. All right, and my guess is we're going to have a rack and pinion bar in the front here that causes the wheels to turn. That's my guess. Okay, so we're going to finish up this part, and then that's where we're going to end it for tonight. But this takes us up to 67, and we actually marry that part in there. So for this build part, we need black cross member. That's too big. We need smaller. There's that gray. That's gray. So gray cross member times 1. We need 2 short posts. 1, 2. 2 long posts with what looks like axle ends. So this and this. And we need we need 2 of our, let's double check. So we need doubles with a cross axle. Those are where? Where are those? All right, so this is actually a part I have not seen yet. So we may have to dig around a little bit. Here we go. They're right here. How many of those do we need? We need 2. Boom. All right, so there we go. So we got all our parts. So let's set this puppy aside for a second. And it looks like what we're going to do, step 1, insert our axle piece. Then step 2, we're going to insert it here. And then we're going to repeat that process on the other side. Insert it here. All right, so we got that. Now it looks like we're going to take these posts on hole 3 and 6, or 7. No, I'm sorry, 3 and 6. 3 and 5. Odd numbers. 3 and 5. All right, so 3 and 5 with the bumps out. Now we marry that to the double check. Right. Yep, it looks like that's all we do. It's that right there. And we gotta get these lined up and put down. There you go. There is your steering linkage setup. So imagine there's going to be a piece that attaches in the front. I think. The steering wheel is probably going to end up being back here. Somewhere back in this general region. But that's how the wheels turn right there. All right, step 68. Step 69. Step 7. All right, what time is it? Okay. All right, that's where we're going to end it. So we got all the way to step 67. So we are going to pick up on step 68 in our next one. So next Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time in the United States, you guys can join me. We'll be doing the next steps of this Lego build. And by the looks of it, we moved through pretty quickly. We got most of the body built, not the body, but most of the base setup build. This is the rear gear area where the rear tires will spin. Up here, we got the front end with the, it's got the little, those are going to be where the camshaft is spinning, which is going to take the pistons and drive them. And then we just got the steering linkage done. So that's what's going to drive and steer the front wheels. So this is turning out to be pretty darn cool. Man, I got to tell you, it takes a lot to figure this out. I wonder if there's like a computer program they use to like figure out how to build? Or does someone like develop this over time? Like they just start like master building and developing? That's what I want to know. But we're going to use the stickers, the sticker sheet, to keep our place. So when we come back, and I'm even going to dog ear this too. When we come back next Tuesday for the second stream of the Technic build, I'm going to dog ear this page right here. And I'm actually going to use post-it notes in the future. So next time you guys see me, we'll have post-it notes. We'll put post-it notes in little notes on the page where we finish up, just so we know where we step in the build. But for today, I'm going to use the stickers, put them right there. So when we start next Tuesday, we're going to be at step 68 and step 69, which is where we're going to add in the next part. And it looks like it can, you know what? You can actually do this part real quick. You know what? We're going to wait. We're going to wait. I'm getting a little too excited. I want to jump ahead on the build. But that's where we're going to leave it off. So step 68 is where we'll pick up. And then that will drive us into finishing the engine. And as you can see, once we get to that point, we're already starting body mods. So these are going to be the seats for the Corvette. We'll put in both seats. And then we're going to start working on the rail parts. And these are actually body pieces that we're going to start adding on. So we're not too far off. And we're starting to add stickers now too. So we are getting there. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me tonight. I appreciate it. My name is Gutsy. I want to give a shout out to Drew. I'm going to give you another shout out here. Anybody that follows will get a shout out in our next stream as well. I do stream on Facebook as well. So if you're interested... That didn't pop up. Let's go here. Now we'll give a shout out. But Drew, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. And yeah, so that's where we'll end it up. We'll be streaming Thursday night at 6:30. Remember, we'll be on the Apocalypse of Enoch server on day Z. So if you're interested, you can jump over and join our community on Facebook Gaming. We've actually developed quite a big following over there. Where right now we just surpassed 1,500 followers, and we picked up several more recently in the last couple of days. So I'll be giving those folks a shout out in our stream over there as well. So thanks for joining me tonight. I appreciate it. I'm excited. We've got a big chunk of this build done. The next step will be getting to the body kit parts, and then we'll be adding on the shell of the vehicle. We may finish this build in 2 streams. I'm not totally sure. But we got a lot done tonight, especially the intricate inner parts of the vehicle. And I'm going to guess that we're going to be pretty darn close to finishing this up in the next stream. If that's the case, that'll push up my social media posts too. But pay attention to social media. I'll be posting some stuff on there as well, talking about Corvettes. And like I said, orange Corvettes are close to my heart. And my social media post will explain why as we go. Some of you may already know, but some of you may not. So join me next time, Tuesday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time in the United States, which is when we will go to part 2 of the Corvette ZR1 build, which is coming along quite nicely. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great evening. Have a great week if I don't see you. Stay safe, be well, and I salute you, and I will catch you all in the next one. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate it, and have a great evening. And I usually have an ending stream. I just haven't added it yet. But one's coming. See you, everybody.